what's happened is the governors are finally reading the John Warner Defense Authorization Act that states Northcom's main job is suppressing state legislatures and governors. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln type stuff. But there's no excuse of ending slavery this time. So that's what's going on. And you notice Obama keeps calling himself Abraham Lincoln. Okay, I want to spend 2 minutes on the Joker situation. Then we're going to come back, take calls after the news on the martial law situation, the flu situation, and then get a expert on about the carbon tax. But I have never launched something this effective. I mean, I've made films that have been seen by 30, 40, 50 million people, depending on the film. We wrote the book on InfoWar, on going and taking over city hall meetings, county commissioner meetings, on guerrilla information warfare that you now see taking over everything. It just made sense to us as the way to get the attention out, was to get to news conferences, get to things, get the info out. And I'm very proud of that. But I've never had anything this fast, this successful. There have been in hundreds of cities, in some cases thousands of Obama Joker posters put up by my listeners from that little contest. So I'll briefly, when we get back, tell you about that and the incredible attack on the First Amendment. Dealing with this, the state of Florida now has the Attorney General investigating. You know, they don't investigate the Florida CPS run by pedophiles on record. We have links to that up on InfoWars. All they're looking into is how evil. They're even saying it's bad to put it on a wooden post. But they didn't care about all the Obama signs when he told the Washington Post readers to post his image up on stop signs. Remember that during the campaign? We're not saying do anything uncivil. Our contest says do it in commons areas where other posters are. But they say no. You can post other posters, just not ours. People are standing up against it.
Finally in the news this evening, it's being reported that cyber spies from Russia and China have now penetrated our power grid. Even as energy experts are reporting that each summer we get closer and closer to the limits of our nation's power grid, some say that this summer's demand for electrical power may finally push the grid over its edge, creating a cascade of power outages across the country, putting us all in the dark.
Are you prepared for the next round of storm-related outages or government-created blackouts? Have you ever thought about taking steps to get off the grid and generate your own private supply of electrical power? If so, this will be the most important information you have ever heard. Solar-powered generators are finally available. They have no moving parts to wear out or break and require absolutely no gas whatsoever. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Check out mysolarbackup.com before you lose your power.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do at the end of the show? I'll give you the update on the Joker situation. It's just incredible. I mean, I've had videos from San Francisco, London, New York, where people are putting up 300, 400, 500, 1,000 of the posters in just great shots of it. Tokyo, Germany and Berlin, Moscow. Just incredible listeners. And what happened is when the government came out in Claremont and said they were going to arrest whoever was putting them up, then people went even more wild in Claremont and put 10 times more up, the police have said. And now the police are kind of getting sensible and backing off because, at least they are for now, they say, well, now we're thinking it may be a First Amendment issue, but they shouldn't put it on mailboxes. And I agree. I told people they should, and people should stop that. They've kind of been doing it more aggressively now, and I've told people don't do that because that distracts from the message. But whatever. I mean, the Founding Fathers did a lot more than that. The bigger issue is it's much worse to have $23.7 trillion stolen. It's much worse to have all these serious government crimes going on than to have the government then hypocritically obsessing over someone's putting signs up on telephone poles. It's so scary. And they say on the newscast, it should be illegal. The president looks scary. This is wrong. This is disrespectful. So the government looked crazy on the news, and the few citizens they showed saying they were against it. And it turns out the vast majority of the public's for it. And so it's totally blown up in the government's face. I'm going to cover it at the end of the show. Let's go to Sam in Florida. Sam, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, Alex. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome.
Just wanted to ask you just a real quick couple questions. One, I live in Orlando, Florida, and we're surrounded by water, and I was wondering when martial law is declared, where would you run to first if you lived in the state of Florida? Two, I've taken my kids out of the Osceola County School District this year because we're not going to have our kids, given the vaccination shot. So they've been withdrawn, and I know that when my wife called the school to get them taken out of school, they said, geez, another one's being taken out? Why are you all withdrawing your kids? Well, I wonder why.
Because we know the government's run by a bunch of criminals, that's why.
Okay, well, we went and posted the Obama pictures all over Orlando, over by Universal Studios, over by Disney, just all over Orlando. And on our last night, we got approached by an Orange County deputy who advised us that it's illegal to post our posters or any other posters anywhere in the county on any public telephone pole or
But he didn't give you a ticket, did he? He didn't give you a ticket, did you?
He did not, but the first thing
here's the issue. Different towns allow it, some towns don't. That's why I said follow local laws. But if they selectively harass you when it's common law or common practice where you see hundreds of posters up and then you go put your poster up, then that's a fraud. But the point is the ninnying over it and the whining and the news saying, I had 2 Spanish news stations, including a national one, call for my arrest saying it's racist. So the fact that they're telling us we're racist and trying to intimidate us and saying the poster itself is bad, that's why people are standing up and saying no. So follow the laws in your area. I certainly want to say that. But, sometimes, these little petty laws, too, are there to be ignored when you're talking about standing up against a tyranny. I mean, if we have martial law, they're going to say it's illegal to criticize the government. Well, that law is a fraud. They had laws saying black people were slaves. And finally, blacks stood up and said, I'm not your property, I'm a human being. So, what's your question?
Well, the question is, again, the first question, I guess I'd actually answered my question, but the first question is, if you had a choice, is there a place to run to
let me say this. Obviously, a rural area where you're not close to people, if the flu outbreak turns out to be a real deadly virus, anywhere where you can stay, 5-6 acres. We'll be right back.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
We've got one of the most outspoken critics and scientists against the new religion of global warming and global carbon tax. That's coming up in the next segment. Let's continue with your phone calls here. Let's go ahead and talk to Ingrid in Nevada. Ingrid, you're on the air. Welcome worldwide.
Hello, Alex. I wanted to ask you something. My friend made some Obama choker posters yesterday, and they say, wanted for bank robbery. What is your opinion on that?
I think it's pure genius. And you've actually hit upon my next contest. I want to keep the Friday because I need more time to watch. I have to be fair and watch the literally hundreds of videos. I've watched a lot of them, but as fast as I watch them, more are coming into the inbox. They're just incredible. We've got to also get them all posted on one page or a group of pages so they load quickly. And the next
I watched a lot of them.
Awesome. The next contest is going to be for the best new term or slogan. And we're going to post different slogans, different people's Photoshop jokers of Obama. My graphics lady made an unbelievably good one of Bush. If people want to do that, this is bipartisan. We are exposing these puppets for what they are. But Obama is the big puppet right now that has the whole New World Order train hooked up to his engine. So and when they said 2 weeks ago it's racist and bad to put these up, I said put more of them up because it's a First Amendment. Do it in legal and lawful areas. That's why we did the contest, because they were demonizing people, calling him a socialist. And MSNBC and CNN said it is the N-word to say socialist. No, Hitler was a National Socialist. It's not the N-word to say Hugo Chavez is a socialist or Obama wants to socialize health care. It's the truth. And so this politically correct assault on free speech. They know it's not racist to say socialist. They cold-bloodedly want to win their political takeover of 20% of the economy that's left that government doesn't control. But that's a great idea. The picture of Obama, wanted for bank robbery. Great idea. Wanted for being a puppet of the New World Order.
Right on, Alex, and I'm going to help him put it out today.
All right, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. Yeah, listen, folks, you don't have to put out our posters. You know, it's a First Amendment. The power of the people, not just going to town halls, but calling into talk radio, letters to the editor, starting blogs, commenting on comment pages, going out and standing on a street corner with a sign with a message, putting up, little printouts with a message. We're going to do one against the flu shot about, think twice, or, flu shot causes brain damage. And then we'll have links under it to the Associated Press reporting on it.